guys, I'm Lily. Welcome to my channel. For today's video, as requested, I'm going to tell you guys my labor and delivery story. So here we go. So on September 3rd, it's kind of a funny story. I was having very light contractions all day, and my mom kept telling me no, you're not going into labor, it's just Braxton Hicks. And I was 38 weeks pregnant. I was so uncomfortable. I just wanted the baby to get out of me. So by her saying that, I was getting so angry and my hormones were raging. So I had my bunny slippers in my hand and I went to go toss my slippers into my room, and I was holding my phone in the same hand as my slippers, and I accidentally let go of my phone when I let go of the slippers, and the whole screen came off of my phone. So my phone was broken. I picked it up, and James came home from work on his lunch break, and he came to heat up his food, whatever, eat for a second, and then he had to go back to work. And I was my phone just broke, and he's well, great, now you can't tell me if you're in labor or not. And I don't know why, but when he said that, he was now you can't keep me updated, I lost it. I was hysterical. I ran into my room and started hysterically crying, and I cried so hard that my water broke. And so my sister-in-law came in, my brother's fiance, and she was hugging me on the bed, and as I'm crying, I felt I was squirting water out with every little time that I was crying. It was kind of I was pushing water out, and I was am I peeing myself? What's going on? So then I stood up, and I was I think my water's breaking. And my brother's girlfriend was oh, stand up, stand up. So I stood up, and then I ran, and it was just flowing out like a faucet. It was just spraying. So I run to the kitchen, and there's a huge trail of water all the way from my room to the kitchen, and it was just a mess. It was so much water, more water than I've ever seen in my entire life. It was ridiculous. And everyone was standing there is it water? Is it pee? I'm I don't know if I peed myself. I don't know how this happened. It's just coming out of me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened. I went to the maternity floor, and they did a swab type thing to see if it was my amniotic fluid, and they tried to tell me that I peed myself. And I was are you kidding me? If that was pee, you definitely have to admit me, because there's something wrong. My bladder must have exploded, because that was my whole kitchen, my whole bedroom, trails of long water, a river. It was a lot of water. I was there's no way this was pee. And they were kind of laughing at me, being thinking maybe because I was young, I was only 16 years old, that I was stupid and I didn't know it was not my water. But then the doctor did another swab, and he came back and was yep, it was your water, so we have to admit you. And I was haha, I was right, I did not pee myself. So then they admit me, and I had the longest labor. So I was 1 centimeter dilated when my water broke. The day before my water broke, when I was having these contractions, I did go to the doctor and be I'm having contractions, can you check me? So he checked me. At 38 weeks, I was 1 centimeter dilated, and then my water broke, and when I got to the hospital, my water was broken. I was still only 1 centimeter. So then for hours and hours, they kept checking me. I was still only 1 centimeter. So then they gave me this medicine called Cytotec, which is a pill, and they crush it up and they put it up there. It's getting checked, but they insert the pill up there, and it's supposed to make your cervix soften and a face. And that didn't work. I had 4 doses of that. It was so painful when you're having, and I was having very painful contractions, and they keep putting stuff up there, and it was just so horrible. So literally I was in labor for 3 days, because even though I wasn't in the hospital, I was still having those contractions at home. So I was in labor before my water broke, so I was literally in labor for 3 days. I was not dilating past 1 centimeter, and they told me that if I didn't go, if I didn't get to 10 centimeters in 32 hours, that it's very dangerous. If I didn't get to 10 centimeters in 24 hours, it's very dangerous, that you have to have a C-section because you're risk for infection. They told me the longest I could go was 32 hours, and then they would have to give me a C-section. So I was in labor for 37 hours and I did not want to have an epidural, but after 35 hours of like excruciating pain and no dilating, they decided, I think at like 32 hours, to give me Pitocin to like kick my labor in because nothing was happening. Like I was not dilating past, like after I think like 24 hours I got to 3 centimeters, but nothing was happening after that. So they gave me the Pitocin, and finally after that, like the Pitocin made the pain so much worse. Like I could not stand it. I was on the birthing ball, I was walking around, I was trying to stand up, I couldn't even, like, I had to pee a lot when I was in labor. I couldn't even like sit down to pee. Like I was just in so much pain. It was so bad. James was trying to like do this thing that the nurse taught him where like he rubs your back like in circles, my lower back. He was helping me on the birthing ball. He was trying to be like my personal trainer. We were like doing squats. I was dancing. Like nothing was working. And then after like 2 hours of the Pitocin, I could not take it anymore. I had a natural birth plan for no epidural because I just didn't want to have an epidural. I was too scared of it. And then I literally couldn't take it anymore, so I got the epidural, and then I fell asleep for 2 hours after I had the epidural. And when I woke up, the doctor came in to check me and was like, "It's time to push." And I was like, oh my god. So then after 45 minutes of pushing, Aaliyah was born. And it was just the most amazing feeling of my whole life. Like when they put that baby on your chest, like I just couldn't even believe it. And that feeling, like those 2 days in the hospital and how special it is, like when James was sleeping in the hospital with me and like bringing her home and like just meeting this little girl is like what would make me want to have another child, because it is the best feeling in the world. That's pretty much it for my labor and delivery story. Please put down in the comments what you guys want me to do for my next video. In the description there will be links to all my social media. Also, I just want to put out there for you guys, another way you guys can support me as like my supporters. I am selling like Avon and Meet Mart makeup. I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial probably for my next video on how to get this like my basic everyday look, which is what I'm wearing right now. I use all Avon and Meet Mart makeup, and I'll show you guys that next week. But the link to my website to order is down below, so if you guys ever want to order anything, the website is in the description. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next Wednesday.